All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a role that's quietly changing communities everywhere. Not from the top down, but really from the inside out. We're talking about the peer educator.
I mean, think about it for a sec. When you really need advice, who do you go to? Some textbook expert or a friend? You know, someone who just gets it. Someone who's been in your shoes. That exact feeling, that trust, that shared experience, that's what we're going to unpack today.
And that idea right there brings us to the core of this. A peer educator? They're way more than just a friend with an opinion. They're actually a trained, trusted guide who uses that shared understanding to give you the support you really need. They're like a bridge, connecting all that formal information to what's actually happening in real life. So to see how this works in practice, let's look at a real-world example.
So to really get a grip on what makes this role so impactful, let's look at a real-world blueprint. Kwekweji Kalaluka. By digging into their work, we can see all these principles in action.
So yeah, we're going to use Kwekweji's profile as our guide. It's going to help us break down the skills, the knowledge, and maybe most importantly, the mission that really defines a great peer educator.
Okay, so what's actually in this toolkit, right? What are the skills that someone like Kwekweji uses to connect with their peers and guide them so effectively?
Well, it really all comes down to three core pillars. And get this, these aren't just, personality traits you're born with. No, these are skills you actually have to work on and develop. They're the absolute foundation of the work they do. So let's break them down.
First up, effective communication. And we're not just talking about being a good talker. It's about taking really complex, maybe even sensitive topics, like health education, and translating them. Making them engaging, clear, and, this is the key part, totally accessible to the people you're talking to.
Okay, next up is empathy. And honestly, this is the pillar that unlocks everything. It's where the trust comes from, because think about it. If you don't create a safe, non-judgmental space, nobody's going to open up, right? A great peer educator knows how to listen first. That's how they build that foundation where people feel they can genuinely share.
And pillar number 3? Leadership. But hold on, this isn't about being the boss, not at all. It's about having the confidence to guide a group, to run a workshop, and to lead with real enthusiasm. It's that proactive skill that takes a bunch of information and turns it into a real, shared learning experience for everyone.
So, okay, we've got the core skills down, but skills are only one part of the equation, right? You have to apply them to specific knowledge. So let's see how all this builds into actual, concrete areas of expertise.
And this is really where the rubber meets the road. You can see how Kwekweji takes those pillars we just talked about and applies them to these critical areas. So in health education, they're tackling huge topics like reproductive health and mental well-being. Then you've got life skills where they're giving their peers actual practical tools for things like decision-making. And finally, with community engagement, they pull it all together to create real positive change.
Look, having the skills and the knowledge is fantastic. It's crucial. But what's the why? What's the thing that truly drives a peer educator to do this work day in and day out? What's the ultimate goal here?
This, right here, this is the heart of it all. This mission statement just says everything, doesn't it? The goal isn't just to give out information, it's to empower. It's about giving people the tools and the confidence they need to make informed decisions and really take control of their own lives.
But, a great mission is nothing without a plan. So how do you take this big, amazing goal of empowerment and make it happen day to day? Well, you break it down into smaller, totally actionable goals. And here's what those goals look like. First, it's about empowering your peers with accurate information and real skills. Second, it's about promoting positive change, not just for one person, but for the whole community. And third, and this is so important, it's committing to your own learning and professional development. It's this constant cycle you see, learning and then teaching and then learning some more.
So when it all comes down to it, if there's one thing you take away from all this, it's this. The real magic of a peer educator is that combination. It's the relatable skills, like empathy and communication, plus deep expertise, all of it fueled by this incredibly powerful mission to empower other people.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. We spend so much time looking outside our communities, for some expert to come in and solve our problems. But what if the most powerful agents for change are the people who are already in the community? People who are equipped with the right tools and a real sense of purpose? What if the key to a stronger community is already in it?